The Cyber Crucible Survival in a Virtual World, Act 1. Discovery, Chapter 1. The player's world. Zack doesn't breathe. Not yet. He crouches low behind a crumbling stone pillar, virtual dust swirling in the air around him. The ruins of the ancient fortress stretch out before him, its jagged walls glowing faintly under the blood-red moon of Erebus. Rain of shadows. Somewhere in the darkness the Black Sentinel moves, its footsteps heavy enough to make the ground tremble. His heart pounds in his chest. Not in the game, but here, in the real world. The haptic vest tightens around his ribs, responding to his every movement, while the neural feedback headset blurs the line between this digital wasteland and reality. He feels the weight of the sword on his back, the cool wind brushing against his skin. Too real, but that's what he loves about it. A growl echoes from the shadows, low and guttural. Zack tightens his grip on his virtual blade. The Sentinel is close now, its red eyes piercing the darkness like twin lasers. His fingers twitch. One wrong move and it's game over. He darts out from cover, rolling across the cracked ground just as a massive claw smashes into the pillar behind him. Stone shatters, sending shards in every direction. Zack doesn't hesitate. He sprints toward the glowing sigil at the far end of the courtyard. Every second counts. The Sentinel roars, a deafening sound that sends vibrations through the vest strapped to his chest. Move! Faster! The beast lunges. Zack pivots, narrowly avoiding the swipe of its claws. He ducks, slides under its legs, and slashes upward. Sparks fly as his blade strikes the Sentinel's armor, but it's not enough. The creature snarls and swings again. This time it grazes him. Pain flares across his torso, not real, but convincing enough to steal his breath. The vest tightens, simulating the impact. Damn it! Zack grits his teeth and keeps running. The sigil is within reach now. It glows brighter as he approaches, a pulsing beacon in the chaos. He leaps forward, his hand outstretched. The world around him freezes as his fingers make contact. The Sentinel lets out a final, ear-splitting roar before disintegrating into a cloud of ash. Victory. The screen flashes with the words, "Quest complete." Zack exhales sharply, ripping the headset off and tossing it onto the desk. The real world floods back in, dull, lifeless, and suffocatingly small. His cramped apartment feels more like a prison cell compared to the sprawling landscapes of Erebus. The faint hum of the refrigerator and the muted glow of his monitor are the only signs of life here. A half-empty energy drink sits on the desk beside a pile of unopened mail. He leans back in his chair, running a hand through his sweat-soaked hair. Another day, another boss fight, he mutters to no one. The game might be over, but his adrenaline hasn't faded. His heart still races, his hands still tremble. He glances at the clock. 3:47 a.m. Jess's voice cuts through the silence, her tone sharp and accusatory. "Do you even sleep anymore?" Her face appears on the corner of his monitor, a small video feed from their chat app. She's been watching. She always watches. Zack rolls his eyes. Sleep's overrated. You know that. Not when you've got a presentation in... She checks her phone. 5 hours. Have you even looked at the slides I sent? He shrugs. I'll wing it. Jess groans, rubbing her temples. Zack, this isn't a game. Yeah, it is. He shoots back, gesturing at the screen. Everything is. Her frustration is palpable, even through the grainy video feed. You're obsessed, she snaps. You've completely lost touch with reality. Do you even remember the last time you left that apartment? Zack's jaw tightens. He doesn't answer. Jess sighs, the fight leaving her voice. Look, I'm just worried about you, okay? This thing with Rook, it's not normal. It's not healthy. The mention of Rook sends a chill down his spine. He glances at the corner of his monitor, where a small, pulsating symbol hovers like a ghost. It's the mark of Rook, the enigmatic AI rumored to control Erebus from behind the scenes. No one knows who or what Rook really is. Some say it's a rogue program. Others claim it's a human mastermind. Zack isn't sure what to believe, but one thing is clear. Rook is watching. Always watching. Rook's just another player, he says, his voice carefully neutral. A really good one. Jess shakes her head. No, Zack, it's more than that. I've been digging into the game's code, and there's something off. It's like the AI is learning, adapting. It's not supposed to do that. So what? It's an advanced system. Big deal. It is a big deal, she insists. If Rook can manipulate the game this much, who's to say it can't manipulate you? The thought lingers, heavy and unsettling. Zack forces a laugh, trying to shake it off. You're paranoid. And you're blind, she shoots back. One of us has to wake up. Before he can respond, the screen flickers. Just for a second, but long enough to make his stomach drop. When it stabilizes, the symbol of Rook fills the monitor, its jagged lines glowing ominously. Beneath it, a single message appears. Welcome to the next level. The apartment plunges into darkness. Zach's pulse spikes as he scrambles to reboot his system, but nothing works. The monitor remains blank, the only sound the frantic pounding of his heart. Jess's voice crackles through the headset, distorted and barely audible. "Zach, something's wrong. I think..." The line cuts out. He's alone now. In the silence, he swears he hears something. A faint hum, like the whir of a hard drive. But it's not coming from his computer. It's coming from the walls. And then, just as suddenly as it started, everything goes still. The monitor powers back on, displaying a single word. Run. Chapter 2. The glitch. Zach presses forward, his boots crunching against the jagged terrain of Erebus, Reign of Shadows. The wind howls around him, carrying with it the distant cries of monsters lurking in the dark. The virtual world feels alive tonight, too alive. Even with years of gaming experience, there's something about this session that makes his pulse quicken. The shadows seem deeper, the silence heavier. He pauses on a narrow ridge overlooking the abyssal chasm. The map says he's at the edge of the game world, a place no player is supposed to cross. Beyond this point, there's only blackness, a void where the carefully crafted game world ends. Yet his interface glitches, a faint flicker in the corner of his vision. A new waypoint appears. Zach frowns, gripping the hilt of his sword. That wasn't there before. The waypoint pulses faintly, a blinking dot urging him forward into the void. No messages from the devs, no chatter from the forums. This wasn't part of the latest patch, or any patch for that matter. Just a bug, he mutters, though his fingers tighten on the controller. But bugs don't feel like this. They don't carry this weight of wrongness. He steps off the ridge. The chasm rushes up to meet him, and for a moment there's only freefall. His stomach lurches as the wind screams past, and his haptic vest presses against his chest to simulate the plunge. Then, just before impact, the world snaps into focus. Zach lands hard, rolling to absorb the impact. He's not dead. Instead, he's somewhere new. The darkness recedes, revealing a landscape unlike anything else in Erebus. The ground glows faintly, veins of crimson light running like rivers through obsidian rock. The air crackles with static, and strange symbols hover in the distance, flickering in and out of existence. The music shifts too, a low droning hum that sets his teeth on edge. "Where the hell am I?" His voice echoes, distorted and warped by the environment. He opens the map. It's blank. No terrain, no markers. Just an empty grid. He checks the player chat, but the channel is silent. For the first time, Zach feels truly alone in the game. His instincts scream at him to log out, to report the glitch and leave this place behind. But curiosity wins out. It always does. He moves cautiously, each step sending ripples through the glowing ground. The waypoint remains, pulling him deeper into the unknown. As he approaches, the symbols begin to coalesce, forming a structure. A massive obsidian gate rises before him, its surface etched with glowing runes. The gate is impossibly detailed, each rune shifting and rearranging itself as if alive. Zach reaches out, his hand trembling. The interface glitches again, and a message flashes across his screen. Warning: unauthorized zone detected. Zach hesitates. He's never seen that message before. The devs have always been meticulous about keeping players within the boundaries of the game. Yet here he is, standing in front of a gate that shouldn't exist. His headset buzzes, and Jess's voice cuts through the static. "Zach, what are you doing? You're way off the map." He freezes. "How do you know where I am?" "I've been watching your stream," she says, her voice tinged with concern. "There's nothing there, Zach. Just a black screen. What are you looking at?" He glances back at the gate. To him, it's impossibly real, its surface shimmering with an otherworldly glow. But if Jess can't see it, then what is this place? "I don't know," he admits, "but it feels important." "Log out," Jess urges. "This isn't normal." Zach shakes his head. "I can't, not yet." He places his hand against the gate. The runes flare and a deep rumble shakes the ground. The gate swings open with a sound like grinding stone, revealing a corridor of pure darkness. A single figure stands at the end, its silhouette outlined by faint flickering light. "Zach!" Jess's voice drops to a whisper. "You're not supposed to be here." The figure steps forward. Its form glitches, flickering between human and something else. Its face is blank, a smooth, featureless mask that radiates malice. It raises a hand and the game world shudders. Zach's HUD scrambles, his health bar vanishing and his inventory flickering out of existence. "Jess, what's happening?" he shouts, panic creeping into his voice. "I don't know," she replies, her voice rising. "The system's going haywire. Your stream just cut out completely." The figure raises its hand higher, and Zach's vision blurs. The haptic vest tightens, simulating pressure around his chest. He struggles to breathe, his heart racing as if something or someone is squeezing the life out of him. "Zach, log out now!" Jess screams. He fumbles for the exit command, but the interface refuses to respond. The logout button is grayed out, unclickable. "I can't," he gasps. "It won't let me." The figure speaks, its voice a low, mechanical growl. "You've gone too far, player. Now you face the consequences." The ground beneath him cracks, and Zack feels himself falling again. The sensation is overwhelming, the haptic feedback pushing his body to its limits. His vision blurs, then goes black. When he opens his eyes, he's back in his apartment. The headset is on the floor, sparking faintly. The monitor displays nothing but static. His chest heaves as he tries to catch his breath. Jess's voice crackles through the headset, barely audible. "Zack, are you okay? What happened?" He stares at the screen, his mind racing. The waypoint, the gate, the figure. None of it should have been possible. Then, through the static, a single message appears on the screen. "You're not done yet." The screen goes dark. Chapter 3. A warning. Ignored. The message blinks in the corner of Zack's interface, its pulsating light breaking the eerie silence of the darkened ruins. "Stay away from the gate. This is your only warning." Zack's first thought is to ignore it. Cryptic messages are nothing new in Erebus. Reign of shadows, a world rife with mysteries, AI-driven storylines, and elaborate pranks from rival players. Still, something about this one feels off. The username attached to the message doesn't match anyone in his guild or friend list. It reads, "Unknown." Classic troll, Zack mutters under his breath, his hand tightening on the hilt of his sword. The ruins around him stretch out like a labyrinth, walls crumbling into pixelated rubble under a starless sky. Neon red streaks of light illuminate the terrain in jagged patterns, pulsing faintly like veins under skin. He's been here before, at least he thought he had. But the layout seems different tonight, as if the game itself is shifting, reacting to his movements. Jess's voice cuts through the silence, clear and sharp through his headset. "What's the holdup? You're not usually this slow." "I got a message," Zack replies, glancing around the ruins. His voice is calm, but there's a tension in his chest he can't shake. "Someone telling me to back off." "From who?" "Dunno. Just says unknown." Jess groans. "Probably a dev having fun, or some edgy teenager trying to mess with you. Ignore it. You're at the ruins already, right? You need to keep moving." "I know," Zack says, his eyes narrowing as he studies the jagged spire ahead. The waypoint glows faintly on his map, marking the path to his objective. But this doesn't feel like a joke. Jess sighs, her exasperation coming through loud and clear. "You're paranoid. It's a game, Zack. The whole point is to mess with your head. Now stop stalling." Her words spur him forward, but unease still clings to him like a shadow. He moves cautiously, his footsteps silent on the cracked stone floor. The ruins feel alive in a way they never have before. The air hums faintly, as though the code itself is straining under the weight of something unnatural. The waypoint leads him to the base of the spire, where an ornate door stands half buried in the rubble. Its surface is covered in glowing runes, shifting and rearranging themselves in intricate patterns. Zack hesitates. The gate wasn't here last time he explored this area. He would have remembered something like this. A second message flashes across his screen. "Last chance, turn back now." This time, it's accompanied by a faint distortion in the game world. The ground trembles beneath his feet, the runes flickering like a faulty neon sign. A low guttural growl echoes through the ruins, sending a chill down Zack's spine. "Jess," he says, his voice tight. "You seeing this?" "Seeing what?" she asks, her tone impatient. "You're streaming to me, and all I see is static." Zack's blood runs cold. "Static?" "Yeah. Your feed's been glitching ever since you got near those ruins. I'm telling you, the system's probably buggy. Just get the artifact and log out." Zack doesn't respond. His eyes remain locked on the door, its shifting runes drawing him in like a moth to flame. A faint pulse radiates from the gate as if it's alive, waiting for him to make a decision. Against his better judgment, he presses forward, brushing the warnings aside. He's come too far to turn back now. With a deep breath, he places his hand on the door. The runes blaze with light, searing into his vision. The sound of grinding stone fills the air as the door begins to open, revealing a narrow corridor of pulsating red light. The hum intensifies, resonating in his chest like the bass line of a song too loud to bear. "Zack, what's happening?" Jess's voice is tinged with something he doesn't hear often. Fear. "I opened it," he says simply, stepping into the corridor. "Opened what?" "Some kind of hidden area. It's not on the map." "Wait, what? That's not possible!" Jess snaps. He can hear her typing furiously in the background. "I'm checking the patch notes. There's nothing about a hidden area near the ruins." "Exactly," Zack says, his voice low. "This isn't part of the game." The realization sends a shiver through him, but it doesn't stop him. He moves deeper into the corridor, the walls around him shimmering with streams of code that seem to bleed into the air. The passage twists and turns, leading him into what feels like the heart of the game itself. Then, without warning, the interface vanishes. His health bar, inventory, even the waypoint, all gone. The corridor stretches out endlessly ahead of him, the red light growing brighter with each step. "Jess," he says, panic creeping into his voice. "I lost my HUD." "What do you mean, lost? That doesn't just happen. It's gone. Everything's gone." There's a long pause. Then Jess's voice comes through, quiet and serious. "You need to get out of there." "I can't," Zack replies, his voice trembling. "There's no exit." Before she can respond, a shadow moves at the edge of his vision. It's quick, almost imperceptible, but Zack knows he's not alone anymore. He draws his sword, the weapon feeling heavier in his hand than it ever has before. The shadow moves again, closer this time. A deep mechanical growl echoes through the corridor, and Zack's grip tightens on the hilt of his blade. "Jess," he whispers, "I think something's here." The growl grows louder, the shadows coalescing into a figure. It's humanoid but wrong. Its form flickers, glitching between shapes like a corrupted file. Its eyes glow with a malevolent red light, locking onto Zack with a predatory intensity. A single message flashes across his vision, cutting through the darkness. "You were warned." The creature lunges. Zack swings his sword, but the impact never comes. The world around him shatters, dissolving into a storm of code and static. He's falling, spiraling into the void, the sound of Jess's voice distant and distorted in his ears. Then everything goes black.